Welcome to this episode of EnterpriseRed's View from the Top, with myself, Phil Gladwell, and EnterpriseRed CEO Ian Kennedy-Compston. Hi, Ian.
Hi, Phil.
Ian, there's been a lot in the press recently about a number of high-profile organisations which have been hit by cyber breaches. Going back to basics, what is cybersecurity and why should we be concerned with it?
Cybersecurity is the practice of protecting computer systems, networks, and data from digital attacks and unauthorized access. A lot of cybercrime is for monetary gain. It could be by tricking you into sending them money, by gaining access to your bank account, or by selling your personal information to other cyber criminals. If someone can impersonate you, then they could take out credit cards or loans in your name, and you would be liable for them. We interact a lot with organizations online. We have to provide them with certain pieces of personal information so that they can identify who we are, and we expect those organizations to look after our information.
So the onus is on us to make sure that we give away only the minimum information needed and only to the right people.
That's correct. Even though you think you may be talking to a specific person or you are on a specific website, you may not be. It's worth checking before you give away any information. And if you are asked for information, always ask yourself whether that information is really needed before you give it away.
Why is cybersecurity becoming so important now?
In reality, it's always been important. Any system which connects to another one over the internet is at risk from being attacked. That includes our mobile phones, tablets, laptops, PCs. A cyber criminal doesn't have to be sitting next to us to attack us. They could be down the road, on the other side of the world, or anywhere in between. Today, artificial intelligence is increasingly being used by cyber criminals to launch sophisticated attacks, including personalized phishing campaigns, automated malware creation, and deepfake-driven social engineering. We really need to be on our toes.
What does cybersecurity look like from a business perspective?
There are a number of reasons why cybersecurity is important from a business perspective. 1. You don't want a cyber breach. A breach can lead to loss of sensitive data and/or loss of access to critical computer systems. Loss of sensitive data can lead to regulatory fines, loss of customer confidence, loss of income, and can ultimately result in the failure of the business. If critical computer systems are impacted, the business may not be able to trade at all and may have to spend considerable sums of money to recover from the situation. Protecting digital assets and ensuring the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of information is crucial. 2. You have to demonstrate a level of cybersecurity in order to be able to trade with certain types of organizations, for example, the UK government and Ministry of Defence. 3. A sound business reason. Customers are more likely to do business with you if you can demonstrate that you will look after their data.
I read a quote from Robert Mueller, a former director of the FBI. There are only two types of companies, those that have been hacked and those that will be. What are the barriers to implementing solid cybersecurity?
Knowing where to start can be a problem. There are lots of tools available in the marketplace, each with their own strengths and weaknesses. A number of tools may be needed to be able to provide the level of security that you require. Some can be quite expensive and they often take a lot of time and effort to use properly. Some may not handle all the systems that you need. If they are not set up properly, you may get a lot of alerts or false positives, which can take a lot of effort to work through. It often requires skilled resources to be able to properly run cybersecurity tools and solutions, so this is often a barrier for uptake. As is competition for hard-earned budget.
What are some of the things to think about when looking at implementing cybersecurity tools and systems?
Do you have the skills to be able to manage the tools and systems in-house? Do you need to train your existing staff, bring in skilled staff, or can a managed service be used? Do you have an inventory of all the systems you have that need to be protected? Do you know exactly what computers, laptops, mobiles, printers, etc. you have? Do new devices get added and old devices removed? You may need a system that discovers and then continually monitors what devices connect to your network.
And the operating systems and versions that they are on?
Correct. You also need a system that will identify what they are running and whether what they are running is out of date and will need to be patched or updated.
If your devices are running the latest operating system, what else should we be aware of?
Network firewalls should block unauthorized access to the company's network. Regular penetration testing will help identify whether any changes need to be made to improve security.
What if a cybercriminal does manage to breach the network security and gain access to the network?
There are systems available which will monitor a network for suspicious activity and alert if they detect anything out of the ordinary. Also, having a backup of important systems and data is crucial in case you need to be able to restore them.
Social engineering is one approach that cybercriminals use. What does that involve?
Phishing is one type of cyber attack that uses fraudulent emails, text messages, phone calls, or websites to trick people into sharing sensitive data, downloading malware, or otherwise exposing themselves to cybercrime.
So users should also be trained?
Yes. Users will need to be trained to protect themselves and the organization from cyber threats. This involves understanding risks, recognizing potential attacks, and taking appropriate actions to mitigate them. This includes recognizing phishing emails, safe internet browsing, password security, and social engineering attempts.
Ian, you talk to a lot of customers. What are the common headaches they are experiencing?
Often they cannot get senior management to prioritize the resources that are needed. Multiple tools are often required to find and then fix and contain cyber issues, and there are often security gaps, devices are missed or change. Cybersecurity tools, if not configured correctly, can generate a large volume of alerts, false positives, and repeated findings, which can cause unnecessary work to investigate. This takes a lot of effort and requires skilled employees. It's important to understand what needs to be protected and then get the right tools and training in place to provide that protection.
Thanks, Ian. Until next time. This has been EnterpriseRed's View from the Top, with myself, Phil Gladwell, and EnterpriseRed CEO Ian Kennedy Compston.